What if I told you that the cure for your 21st century burnout wasn't some new app or life hack, but a piece of wisdom written over 700 years ago? Well, today we're going to travel back in time to find a surprisingly modern solution to a very, very modern problem.
Does this sound familiar? You know, the endless grind, the hustle culture, that feeling that you have to constantly push harder, achieve more just to keep up? It's totally exhausting, right? Well, the answer we're looking for today comes from some seriously ancient wisdom.
So, our guide on this journey is a scholar named Yi Jon-o from Korea's Goryeo dynasty. And get this, he distilled this powerful philosophy for a more peaceful life into a super short, elegant poem. It's written in Hanja, which are the classical Chinese characters used in traditional Korean writing. And what he had to say, believe me, it speaks directly to us today.
All right, so let's break this incredible poem down. The first half is all about letting go of that intense, competitive pressure we're always putting on ourselves.
Okay, so here are the first two lines. Now, at first glance, they might seem pretty simple, but the real magic, the real power, is hidden inside the characters themselves. Each one builds this specific and powerful critique of ambition. Let's take a closer look. This first character is absolutely key. In Korean, it's pronounced go, and it means painful or to suffer. The poet uses it to describe how someone is reading, not for joy, not for curiosity, but with a painful struggle, totally driven by the need to get ahead. It's the very definition of ambition-fueled suffering. And what are they reading so painfully? This character, pronounced so, which means book. But in the context of 14th century Korea, and let's be honest, even today, the book represents so much more than just learning. It symbolizes the entire path to success, grueling exams, social status, and that intense, cutthroat competition. So when you put go and seo together, the message becomes crystal clear. Yi Jon-o is basically saying, hey, stop forcing it. Stop turning learning and work, things that could actually be joyful, into a source of pain just to climb some imaginary ladder. It's a direct shot at hustle culture 700 years ahead of its time. Okay, so if we're supposed to reject that painful striving, what's the alternative? Well, it's captured in this beautiful two-character term, pronounced su-i. It literally means to follow your own will, to do something just as you please, freely, with no external pressure. It is the exact opposite of that go or painful effort. And that right there is what Yi Jon-o is really getting at in this first verse. Real value, genuine worth, it's not found in a success that costs you your own well-being. No, it's found in authenticity, in the simple, natural pleasure of just, reciting a poem because you feel like it. Now, let's move to the second half and see how he builds on this idea. So after rejecting that painful ambition, the poet shows us where we can find peace instead. These final two lines create such a powerful shift. We move from that internal world of study and ambition to the quiet, external world of nature and home. The imagery here is just designed to flood your senses with a feeling of peace and calm. So the verse opens with this image, Mong-ju, the Korean word for the oriole, or a yellow bird. Now, this is not just some random detail. The oriole represents the calm, unhurried rhythm of the natural world. It doesn't strive, it doesn't compete, it just is. It exists in the moment. And this contrast is just brilliant. The Mong-ju is in the forest where the day is long and clear. That vision is a world away from the image of someone painfully rubbing their eyes under a lamp, right? This is the peaceful backdrop for the poem's final, most powerful statement. And here it is, the heart of it all. 어려워요. This phrase means to love my own home. Now, for scholars at the time, this would have been a huge, instantly recognizable reference. It's a direct nod to a famous line by the Chinese poet Tao Yuanming, who famously quit his high-pressure government job to go live a simple life on a farm. It's basically code for choosing contentment over status. So the poet isn't just saying, I like my house. He's declaring an entire philosophy. By writing the mood, by following that natural suzui feeling, he discovers that true happiness lies in appreciating the simple, profound beauty of what's already his. So when we put these two verses together, what we get is a complete and really powerful guide to a more meaningful life, one that's free from the anxieties of the rat race. So what's the ultimate guide here? First, escape that competition. Second, slow down and sync up with nature's pace. Now, these ideas beautifully illustrate two core principles in Korean philosophy. The first is jijok, which is this profound wisdom of knowing what is truly enough. The second is onbin nakto, which is the principle of finding joy in a simple life, one that's rooted in virtue, not in material wealth. This poem is basically a masterclass in both.
So the big question is, why does a 700-year-old poem matter to us right now, as we're scrolling through our feeds and dealing with endless emails? Let's just read it one more time now that we have this new understanding. It's not just a poem about books and birds anymore, is it? It's a roadmap. It's about the choice between the painful striving of go and the natural joy of su-wi. It's about finding your eoryo, your love for the home and the life you already have.
And that right there is the essential takeaway. The cure for our modern epidemic of burnout isn't about optimizing our lives even more. It's a radical act of acceptance. It's about cultivating jijijok, that quiet, powerful wisdom of knowing when to stop pushing and to simply appreciate.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In the middle of all the noise and all the pressure, what's your Oriole in the forest? What's the simple, quiet part of your own life that you can choose to love right now, today?